How we all doing? Welcome to the channel. Let's see here. Let's get into this. Alright. Not sure who has joined in with us last time. Whoop. Closed out my... There we go. Closed out my chat real quick. Not good. Gotta see what you guys say. My name is Paulo, aka Mountain Man. Welcome to the channel. We're gonna be continuing from where we last left off. Quick rundown. We, of course, are the unnamed protagonist of the story thus far. I have never played through this game 100% yet, but the protagonist wakes up a little hungover, a little drunk. Not sure what's been going on, but he is definitely... Wow, that music got loud, huh? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Check, 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 check. He wakes up. Not sure who he is, where he's at, anything of that nature. And as he explores around, he discovers he's a detective trying to deduce who killed a dock worker security guard in the back of this area. This is a hostel. Upstairs are rooms. Down here is places to eat. Out here is where we will find the body of the dead man. As he went around exploring, he's talked to union workers and discovered that there's a strike based on not being paid enough, pretty much. But in that sense, it seems like a lot of people believe the union dock workers are the ones to blame. That's these guys here for the murder. They can't get into the harbor. That's over here. But up here, I was able to talk with some neo-Nazi type dude of this world who hates lots of different races, and I was able to get my way into the dock. I also don't know where my badge is. I don't know where my gun is. I've called my station. They mocked me. I've called some of the key witnesses. I've gone in this bookstore to pass some time and discovered there's a haunting going on in this building, which I tried to deduce was some people that were just upstairs, and by doing so, I hurt my foot and realized I was not able to yell because I was thirsty. Long story short, this kid's been throwing rocks at him pretty much for 24 hours. In this dumpster, we found information such as the hanging man's clothes and my clipboard as a police officer. I did not discover these footprints quite yet. But with all that said, let me just leave real quick here. So we ended up talking to the guy in the dock. He told us to unlock this door here and come meet up with him. As we were unlocking this, we realized there was a person on a balcony over here smoking a stove. Oh man, ain't that the truth, huh? I bought this game a while back. I just haven't really gotten to it. Magic 8 Ball, where'd you hear me from? Did you check out the Reddit? Is that where you got it? And that's about it. I mean, I'm kind of I would say a piece of shit of a character. If you haven't played it, I'd almost wait to watch this. I am a little bit into the game at this point, and there might be some spoilers going on. With that said, you're more than welcome to watch. I really don't mind, but just giving you that heads up. There are several footprints in the mud left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Visual calculus. There we go. Maybe more than 12. No, 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Go over them one by one. Standard work boot, steel reinforced toe, number 46. Standard work boot, steel reinforced, number 44. Hobnailed boot, work boot, steel reinforced toe, number 43. Standard work boot, no 45 or 46. Number 45 or 46? Wait, which one? You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart as it is. The cold must have preserved them. Nice. I actually was looking to see if anyone was streaming Disco Elysium. Oh, cool, yeah. It is not a highly popular stream. I do get a lot of people watching at times, but for the most part, oh, cool. I appreciate you popping in. But yeah, for the most part, it's probably a slower paced game for most people that watch streams, so it's not highly popular in that sense. But if you really like story driven, sometimes this gets too wordy in the sense that I don't even know what the heck they're talking about after a while, because somebody's just on a mindless ramble and you don't even realize it till you're a little bit in. But yeah, I mean, the game's super in depth. I mean, the web that it weaves through of information is insane. It's really enjoyable. So, I mean, if you're thinking about streaming it, stream it. You're only going to get 1 or 2 viewers here or there, maybe a handful pop in now and again. But, I mean, if you want, you can, and you're streaming, you could jump into my chat and chat with me while you're playing. So just hit a follow so you see when I come on and we can chit-chat about what's going on in the game. And I mean, there's different routes and paths you can take, so we could both be going completely different directions. So my cat's meow. You don't know. Come here. Relax. You don't know. It's a miracle you can tell the prints apart. The cold must have count more. 5. Another standard workbook, steel reinforced, number 44. An aberration. Light as air. Even
I don't know why you did it, but you did it. Thanks for the follow.
Thank you for that follow, my friend. I get it. You won't be staying too long. I'm good with that, but I appreciate the follow. And don't forget, you can just chat with me while you're playing. And if you have any questions or any ideas, I'm still pretty new to it, but I got the gist of the game. I mean, it's coming together pretty decently at this point, and I'm like, I would say I'm over 10 hours into the game. But it's not like you can be 10 hours into this game and barely in the story. You could do all these side missions and all these different things. Sweet. Yeah, there's a couple games I play where other people will play alongside and they'll hang out. And we'll just talk about where we're going and what there is up ahead. Or I have somebody I met on here named Biff. He did that with me. And Soft Eyes does that. There's a few people on here that do that with me. It's kind of fun. It's just a lot of fun to like kind of jam out a game with someone else to chat with, you know? Even pace. Some make same make of boot, but number 41, male or female. Impossible to tell. Could also have an adolescence. The great is undeveloped. I'm pretty good at this, ain't I? You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens. Everything else has a thin film of unimportance on it, and the tracks burn in the middle of it in a strange, beautiful way. Count the rest. I could have checked these footprints out when I first found this body, and I didn't. So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. I've been playing 10 hours. I didn't even discover a clue. The following outline of the standard work boot is 46, but the imprints are twice as deep than as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. We did just meet that really fat guy. And yet another standard work boot at 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. However, the right sole is smooth and more worn. How many? The lieutenant has been track of your eye movement. What did I say? There was 8? 8. It was, I was pretty off then. I counted 20. The same guys are going back and forth. I never got the hang of it. Hyperion. Some of these words I don't know either, so don't think I'm like a linguist. I'm a guy who plays video games. Hyperoria. He points to his glasses. Do you see anything out of the ordinary? Light steps, heavy steps, and the smooth sole. Light steps? A woman or a kid? I don't think there's any way to be sure. Understood. Anything else? The heavy ones. 200. He thinks for a moment. Could it be a combined weight of 2 people? One carrying the other who's tied up? Let's say heavily built workers carry a similar build. Soon to be dead man. Ooh, yeah, they could have carried him. He might be... Come here, bud. What's going on? Oh, you miss Mom? Where's Mom? Yeah, you guys were outside. Your brother's outside, too. He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely. One of them was carrying him over. Maybe it was a giant. It could have been an extremely obese person, which I'm actually kind of thinking it might have been. He might be right. Yeah, one of them could have been. Possibly, yes, the lieutenant marked something down in his notebook. But why? You're thinking why? Did they have to carry him? Yeah. Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just marched him up the gallows. Maybe the victim refused to walk to his lynching. Maybe the victim was unconscious. Our reading of these prints could be wrong. Maybe he was unconscious? Even easier to carry on a stretcher or between 2 men anyway. It's for future consideration. What else can we see? Then there's the one smooth sole. Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole. Do you have an idea, Lieutenant? Someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joiner or at the harbor. He thinks for a second. Or maybe a drummer? A drummer, that's stupid. So one of the people we're looking for is a drummer. No, it's not. Forget it. I said it. We're not looking for a drummer. Yeah. He raises an index finger. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before their left. The accelerator's on the right. Nod thoughtfully. It was actually thinking the exact same thing. Nod thoughtfully. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam, see whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent. No? Yes, prudent. The lieutenant writes the information down in his notebook. Then reverts to the tracks in the mud. How old do you think these tracks are? A week maybe? 7 days? Would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller who reported the hanging. Not impossible. How do you know? I pulled last week's forecast for coastal ravicles, 7 days below freezing. The day before his hanging was the last warm day. Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago. What do you think happened here? What do I think? A mob of people brought somebody heavy to a tree. Or brought something heavy to a tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching. Indeed, they all stood in a row here and looked at the tree. Yes, everything fits so well. Carried him over, hoisted him up, watched him hang. This is easy. I think we have a firm understanding of what happened here. The lieutenant's eyes narrow. He's thinking to himself. Either way, he concludes, what else? We've been through it all. Alright, well, I've been trying to inspect this body, but once I do, you get this really low chance of success, and I'm afraid to puke too much. I believe you start getting, like, low morale. But we should turn away. Maybe, what do we went to a certain area. We have to walk back to the harbor master. But he's gonna be gone right now. Dang, they really did this, huh? Close for the winter. Use main entrance. Let's see if we get any new information.
Looking for
anybody.
something, Hunt? Huh?
We're done for now. Get out of here. The only person I could think is this big guy.
Right to work! Right to work!
Nope. Okay, we got him. We'll run up here. See if we can get some more information.
Man. How can I help?
Why are you striking? Your share? Aye, he seems pleased with himself. Wait, so not wages or pension? How large a share should you like? Oh, okay, economy stuff. I get it. I want to talk about something else. How large a share would you like? All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company board so they could take part in the discussion-making process. This is seditious talk. Sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in Southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist. What about his boss? I think it's best you make up your mind now that you've met him, he shrugs. In my eyes, he's a capable organizer and a decent businessman. What does bossing the union entail anyway? I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owner and other relevant parties, watches out for his own. By that you mean corruption? Whoa, by heavens. Why would he be corrupt? He lives in the harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it, appreciate it even. He is personally not too lavish. The desk seems lavish. He is responsibly lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. That's, wow, I am definitely not a linguist. I should go back to school. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Okay. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway, and moralism is the most corrupt of them all. This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today. Let's see if he's a communist. No, he pauses, thinks for a minute. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No sense to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only thing holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. Right on, brother. You shouldn't take what's not yours. Cool, I don't have anything to add to that. Right on, brother. Just the way the world works. Brodito. I don't know what that means. You seem to have spent a lot of time thinking about the political. Sure, I have the necessary free time. He spreads his arms wide, using the reach to show how much time he has. Fortunately, there's always time. The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding for him. Having command of his time is the most important thing. I don't know if you're still there, Magic 8-Ball, but so throughout the conversations you have with people, you get these highlighted ones. And what happens is they roll a dice, and right here you see it says easy versus total. The easy is the difficulty in which your composure is relaying to the last message. So you're looking at how he composes himself. And then I rolled pretty... So what they do behind the scenes is they rolled a dice, and I got an 11, and the difficulty level was 8. 8 is about an average, so that's why it's an easy. It says here, I was successful at it, and this information is then deemed to be true. Sometimes. Sometimes the game messes with you. I don't know why, but I guess we'll figure that out. For having... So here I have different stats, and it's all right here. You can see this is all your level tree. Basically, any RPG has a level tree. You can level under your intellect, your psych, your physique, and your motor skills. And I'm pretty high up there when it comes to intellect, which has an encyclopedia. I even have a +1 towards it. So whenever I roll something, I get a pretty high score on encyclopedia. So now I'm just trying to read some information about what he's talking about. So basically I was successful, so all this information right here will deem to be true, apparently. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs. Scabs are cheap workers. His general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco. I call him Franco because I don't want to say his name all the time. Code. Itself, Franco is a known communist in the world here. Itself an appropriation of Vestine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends. Maybe I'm one. It doesn't sound that cool. Sounds antiquated, obsolete, passé. It's not disco. Yeah. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide, and yet it feels as if he could effortlessly go even wider. If need be, an endless turret of time. We'll stop that conversation. I have a new idea, so you have thoughts as you sit here, so. Rhetoric, that's part of it. Hey, psst, look around. Psst, hey you. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Again? How come? There's word on the street. Again? Yes. You're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet, but neither has love. Should we just stop building love too? Can't argue with that. Yes, we should stop building love. Love has worked out really well for me. I'm a love winner. I think he's kind of like a free thinker, not so much communist. Good, we need tender men like you building gargantuan communism. Word on the street, it isn't going to be 10,000 times larger than the communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right? How come there's word on the street? You keep saying this like down with the bourgeoisie. Eat the rich. Sodomize the landowners. Impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket. Literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Oh, right, that sounds like me. I haven't said anything like that. I said some mildly left-wing thing, but none of those. Yeah, I think he's more like mildly left-wing. Oh, yes, the mask of benevolence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour the massacre mankind. Anyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up big communism builders? Or do we get right down to it? Wait, first, what's communism even about? Roll up your sleeves. Failure. It's about failure. Failure? Yes. Abject failure. Total, irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolute vanquished, beaten, curbed, stomped, and pissed on until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone against every living thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of banked men who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and love of your own mother. You, against the atom, the charm, the spin. Where the whole world failed, matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Okay, cool. We'll opt in. Oh, yeah. Get the firing squad and the animal wagons ready. Wait, what? Firing squad? What? Didn't say anything about those. Roll your sleeves up further. Breathe in the pristine air. Yeah. Too late to go back now. You can't take any omelet. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Alright. Thought gained. Here we go. Ecoism. Can we not advance theory? Unlockable. Oh, what? How do you forget? You do not have a skill point. Oh, we have to level up to forget one. To become a communist. There's a lot of different things here. Hobocop. Cool. Okay, let's keep going. I feel like we gotta get to the boss, but we might not have time. We might be able to sneak around or something. Oh, you know what it was? I think he's a good enough cop that he would go and search that basement. Solely based off of his thoughts of what could possibly be there. Oh, looks like we got somebody on YouTube today. Work, work, work. So, I gotta go quite the distance to get anywhere right now. This bridge does not look safe. Gotta go up this way. We wanted to paint this wall. There's a lot of things that happened in this area. We gotta talk to these kids. Oh, what's in here? What? Orange bum hat? Reaction speed? Rhetoric goes down though? Heal? Yeah, we'll take it on. Oh, we just went in. Equipped a plastic bag. Collect bottles, sell them. Okay, let's see. The dots are definites that we have things. Ooh. Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Smells distinct room. The smell of the room. A shirt. Add +1 to logic. What's my shirt at now? Conceptualization. We'll keep it. You can almost feel the warmth of the red sun on that flag. This is the flag of the Ravical suzerainty. What's with the sun? This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big one. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. What's the seven sunfold miracle? It's an optical atmospheric anomaly that first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather, 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomenon is how old Ravical got its flag. Lieutenant. The old flag of Suzerain bow. He looks around at the apartment. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy. Don't bow. Finish. By old-fashioned, he means very right-winged. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with the sun sewn into it, like all feudal flags. It looks like a children's drawing. Cool. Looks like we got. We got an autosave. Book title: The Hidden World of Walking Sticks lies open. Okay. We got a little coin hiding spot here. Oh, we got some pills. We'll definitely take those. What else we got around here? Anything? Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests are staying over. Oh, okay. Well, what else can we do? Is that it? That's what this place has? Just a little bit going on here? Like litter. Oh, here's some stuff. Mug collection. A row of mugs sit on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure, a dark-skinned woman grinning mysterious symbols, a broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. Tap on the mugs. A little ring through, though cheerful. Hey, Tom, what's going on, brother? Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and the lines of the bodies were drawn. What do I mean uncomfortable? It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. Cynical, slippery bastards. I don't see these stereotypes. I think they are honest acknowledgement. I don't think I like the owner of this apartment. Cynical. You ain't gonna change someone's mind by calling them a bastard. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain. I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment. Move on from the mugs. Okay, I feel like I might be missing something. So, I used to be able to press something and it would, like, highlight, but that has now left. I feel like he is just a racist bastard. We're not about that here.
Yes?
Nothing. Continue. Okay, well, we found out the guy's kind of racist. The guy we were told to break into his house. I got one person at each right now. Nice. We can't get into this door. We did see a guy up here. There must be another way into the building. We'll have to get to that. We are on a few missions here. So here's an entrance that's letting us get in. But maybe we actually... Hold on. We should probably talk to... Looks like there was more construction here once decades ago. What does this say? Docking reversed for residents, reserved for residents of that address. Let's go here. The belly of this boat shines like it was recently painted. So this is some posh person from a rich neighborhood that the poor person over here was kind of like snarling at, looking at him weird. Hey, bud. Oh, hey everybody, welcome to the channel. A striking woman leans against the cabin, top of her sailboat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with the droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good evening, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. What does the L stand for? What exactly is the RCM? What gives us away? I think he'd start off with a what gives us away.
Honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Oh. Relax, she meant it in jest. We'll shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. It happened quicker than a shooting star. My reaction speed was a success. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
Hold on, I gotta get my headphones plugged in. I just heard them beeping. Boop, boop. What should I say? You're on a boat. Tell me about the Wild Pines. What do you do? What can you tell me about this strike? What can you tell me about the lynching? You seem rich. Can I have some money? I definitely need money, but that's not what I'm looking for. How interesting. She turns to you unfazed. I wish you were a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the cooperation of the Wild Pines group. I think I'd want to know about the Wild Pines group. What we do, I'm afraid, I don't speak for Wild Pines. As a whole, it's a great undertaking. There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent. So what do they do? Fair enough. Tell me something else. Fair enough. She nods. You're on a boat. What can you tell me about the strike? What can you tell me about the lynching? I think we're going to go in order here. Everything. She smiles. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets? What's your role in this precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer. She's a go-between. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all the negotiating a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strikes were connected. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2.2 meter racist behemoth blocking the gate. You mean Jean-Luc, the racist mentor? He's a great teacher, a man of virtue. So the strike is connected to the lynching. How were the talks going prior to the lynching? Her eyes narrow. Yes, I believe this is a connection, but that's a subject for later. I don't want to talk about that guy that way. He's a racist. We don't like them racists. The lynching. Let's say I'm not making the kind of progress I hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago, she thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do things on site like the RCM. He looks at his notes. But the strike begins in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations. This is the first time the union has gone on strike. Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive? Ludicrous, even. It's meant. What happened to the Gaumont? What are their demands? The scabs at the gate? Did you put them there? What do you think of Evert? Let's see, what happened to Gaumont? Mr. Clare told him how did he put it? She pauses to compose herself. Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is a sort of stature, you see. Is short of stature, you see. Okay then. Yes, maybe in mind this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, who was more than fair with him and the union. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker a member of the board. Most of the workers probably don't know. Most of the workers probably don't even know what that means. I like it. I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it. I want to ask something else about the strike. Most of the workers probably don't even know what it means. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker a member of the board. Most of them probably don't even know what that means. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about everything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its maritime terminals. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by the Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are the kings of the company, they are also kings of 72,000 employees of the Wild Pines group. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. The workers can't be kings. The king is king. The king is dead. Long live the workers. It's pretty funny. They're having a blast, but how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumptions was that they would prefer to move practical solutions. A more practical solution. What are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags, a disastrous situation if there was ever one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. I first heard it from the boya at the gates, the one whose very name adverts his aversion to work. I think he said it was call me Manaya. Manaya. We know him. This checks out. Yep, that makes sense. No, wait, the chief negotiator heard it from a man at the gates. Surely the Wild Pines group has more effective channels of information after 2,200 people are on strike. This is a big deal for them. What do you think of Evert? Evert Clare is a man of utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interest of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Evert is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. If you were if you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier. You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. That's Everett, all right. He's not that bad. Everett is a hero for the workers' movement. No, that sounds like Everett. Yep. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepostic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. I remember hearing something about Edgar. Wait, there's two of them. I remember hearing. Have you seen him? No. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for the lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Evart does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limit, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers do. What about the union itself, outside the brothers Clare? The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution, 20 years ago anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happens in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare named and transformed into a, how do you say, she hesitates, looks for the right expression. A mob, the lieutenant says. Succulently, the De Beers are the crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid of our concessions have only emboldened Everett and his brother. She turns to you. In your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm curious and talkative person, you see, she explains. Would you say the De Bardoues union is an effective association, a giant leech sucking life out of the radical, basically a socialist mob? Prefer not to have an opinion on these things. Yeah, I would say basically socialist mob. Mainly because, thank you for being candid, she said. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the wolf always hungers. The scabs at the gate. Did you put the scabs? She raised her brow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? Don't let her answer it herself. Don't let her answer it herself. Let's call them strike breakers. You put them there, right? You're right. I don't know what got into me. Some of the degenerate dock worker lingo has rubbed off, it seems. Ha! She gives you a crooked smile. If the workers were organized by Wild Pines, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you, not yet at least. It's implied she's open to discuss this matter with you at a later occasion. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous foreman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore or coming to work, ever. End of story. This forewoman, her name. Yeah. Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private corridors. Holly. I don't even know if it's her given name, and I don't have access to the union files. Eerie. Some kind of extortion? Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him. Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine. That's all I need. Let's change the topic. By the way, I talked to Everett Clare. You have? She smiled carefully. And how did you like Mr. Clare? I didn't. Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Oh, wait, actually, she answers her own question. Corruption, that's how he's done it. Fantastic, worm-like corruption reaching into the bowels of the earth. She looks at the ground and nods. The position of my usual colleague does not reflect official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides. Of course, and I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not corrupt worm myself. She turns to you. However, if you feel like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are you not human? Are you not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be, she smiles, gossiping. Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things. I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. Of course, detective. She simmers down. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. We're going to take a quick break. Coming back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, babe. Have fun. Okay, where were we? Okay, you can tell me, what can you tell me about the lynching? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. Secret task completed. Interview the Wild Pines rep. This information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask your names and badge numbers. Of course, ma'am, we should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kitsurugi from the Precinct 57. I just realized I'm not going to be able to tell her who I am and my badge number. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I am afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? She returns the lieutenant's badge and turns to you. Remember when my partner told you I recently suffered from a medical episode? My badge is related to it. I see. She looks incredibly worried. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing. Yes. I can't hear you, darling. Speak up. It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all my memory of my life in the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, the city, nothing. Oh dear, she sighs with confusion, sadness even. Some kind of encephalic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound, I simply can't imagine that you'd gain any faking such a condition. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects. His technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of RCM. I forgot I did actually find out my name. Harry Dubois. Or Henry? Was it Henry? I might have read that wrong again. Harry. It's Harry. It's Harry. Don't worry, guys. I got it again. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects. Yep, he is the RCA. Joyce info on the lynching. Of course I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share any more until I have seen that badge. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. Then I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until then. How do I negotiate my way out of this? Yep, we're not figuring that out. Of course, she grabs the mainstay and leans towards you. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak this lynching business, the better for all of us. You seem rich. Thank you. That's all for now. Of course, detectives. Take care. Okay, I really gotta find Joyce info on lynching. We have to talk to her. What's this? Endurance. It's clear you like the hard stuff, brother. The what? Sounds like my stomach is growling. What is my lower intestine going on about? Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow. Vows? The vows of blood and flesh. That is my lower intestine. What is my lower intestine going on? Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and circulatory system. Okay. What's the hard stuff then? Fascism, brother. Okay, stomach. I've made up my mind about fascism. What is fascism? Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Ravical's problem? Financiers, foreigners, leftists, academics, liberals. I thought you were my circulatory system. Financiers, probably. Yes, them, but also... What? Woman? Woman. Men of woe. You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Women need to go back to the fucking kitchen. Wow, that's sexist. I'm gonna keep reading. I've read everything since this point, but this is getting harsh. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important, but the main thing is that women need to know their place. Okay, stomach, I'm having some kind of stomach seizure. Stomach truth. You're having stomach truth. Why am I getting this? Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things. You've said them many times. Sounds so bad though. What if we called it something else, like traditionalism? Okay, stomach, I've made up my mind about fascism. They really are. Proceed to the judgment. Okay, yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. Oh god. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that? Okay, stomach, I made them. You're going to keep your vow, right? Keep your vow, brother? Keep my vow for glory and the Ravicolian nation. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be played by my upset stomach. Absolutely, that's the one. There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol engorged liver. Here comes some health hit. It's one of betrayal and disappointment. Yeah. Well, time to talk to him, apparently. What's this say, though? Savoir-faire. Wow, you work hard. I do? Oh yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it real and provide. I guess I do, yeah. Oh yeah, like a horse. Like a workhorse. For hard work. What hard work do I do exactly? Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic sands, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who's never given up. The world is harsh and people are evil, and you didn't make it that way, and you won't let it break you. You ride. Yeah, I ride a little. Yeah, I ride. Ride till I die, bitch. Yeah, I ride a little. A little, you make money. You got gills, baby. Got those black peppers with the faces of the innocent on them. You bring in the Franco-Gorius and the Solaces. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a spiritor, and a sprinter and a money printer. Sure, and I got the grant novelty check from Evert. The giant. You could say I took some money from the mana guy too. I guess I have made some gills. Sure. Wasn't easy getting that giant novelty check from Evert. Took some ingenuity to get into the harbor, but you got in, and you took the bribe as hard as any cop taking it. I also got money from him. You didn't log that in as donation either. You don't log any of this shit in. You're a straight rider. I guess I got some gil. Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now ask yourself, are you rich? Yes, quite. Get out of here. You're a pauper. You work harder than anyone, almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? It's because of the carrot guy riding my ass. The system is broken. There's a market of corrupt cops out there, but the immigrant cops have price dumbed it. Fuck taxes, man. I don't know. Why am I so poor? The system is broken. Oh, boo-hoo. The system is broken. The establishment is keeping me down. That's not the fuck yeah attitude you're used to. What is this? Why are you so poor? Fucking taxes, man. That's right, 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his game covered. Sticky fingers in your pocket, stealing from your every time you buy, sell, walk, fart, or much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Ravishol? I thought there was no taxes. Every time I sneeze? You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of taxation. Extraction tax. This tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for that makes them ask for more money from you here. The Gossamer state's a myth. In goal, the coalition government is taking 98% of your money. No fucking way. I guess I'm free market fundamentalist now. Opt in. Are you sure? That seems like a pretty big number. This isn't helping me solve my money problem. It's only making me into a free market type. I think that's more so. What are you, a racist? Don't be racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-bider, free market advocate. Ride or die. Keep it street. This guy's appropriating the emerging boogie street lingo as part of his sales pitch for the free market economy. Well, it's not being ultra makes me racist, then I guess I should be an ultra liberal. You're trying to sound like the Boogie Street youth to peddle me this stuff, aren't you? Yeah, ain't it cool, Ryder? Ain't it the street? It's not. He's a free thinker. He doesn't think the way this savoir-faire is telling him. Boom. What's a boat? What's on the boat? Room in the whirling wind isn't much bigger than the sloop. It's worth more than you'll ever earn in your lifetime. Let's talk to him.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager yet for the damages yet. You should take care of that then, but I don't have the money. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of RCM shouldn't be sleeping on the street. We'll figure something out. Good call. My guy's sleepy. And we'll come back to that door later. People are going to sleep right now. Detective work. It's tiring. A lot of talking to people, walking around town. I gotta say, the one thing this this game really got right about detective work is, I mean, like, deep down inside, even, like, on a joking level, they mention the fact that there's books that indicate that there's action and excitement all the time, when it's really, like, just going around talking to people and trying to get answers. And that's exactly what's been going on with this.
Can I help you?
The money I owe you. I was wondering if we could come to some kind of arrangement for tonight. Does the arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? I'll pay you back tomorrow. I'm an honest cop. It's cold out. I'm freezing to death because I'm losing the stupid money game. Come on, man. After everything I've been through, Kim is about to say something. Let him. Yes. He adjusts his glasses. I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems to commit to drinking, and he stops mid-sentence. I mean, no offense, it's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interest of my establishment. Hold on, I still have my key, you know. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it? Good luck trying to use it. He taps his foot against the metal box installed in the back of the counter. Interfacing. Draconian measures. All the locks have an electric component. They have to be unlocked down here with the master key before your guest key will open the lock. Not until you bring me the money. Okay, he turns to you with a heavy sigh. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. Goodbye. Let's go to the motor carriage. Pay for damages. We're gonna have to ask the station for some money. They're probably not gonna give it to us. We'll see. Ravachol. It says everybody would be asleep by now in the game, but inside you see a steering wheel lever. I have something here we could sell. Look at the back and suspect the transport enclosure. Transport enclosure. Regular people call it the cage. Look in there. I'm gonna call my station. Alice, reconnect me to 41. She sighs. Please hold. Come in. I'm in dire need of financials. I hear you. Don't you have authority to grant your request? Okay. What does he want now? He is asking for money. Is he fucking kidding? I don't think he is. Don't give that asshole anything. He's just drink it all. Alright. Your operator turns back to you. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. Please, I'm begging you here. I don't even have a place to sleep tonight. I'm gonna say it's paramount. He says it's important to the case. He isn't getting a red cent. You tell him that. I don't have a place to sleep. Doesn't have a place to sleep. Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before sundown then. Damn. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. Please come and get me. Okay, I heard you. No funds. This might sound odd. Personal details I'd like to discuss. 10-10. Over. What does he want to discuss? Oh, okay, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over. Wait, before you say anything stupid, think it through. What's there to think about? You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell him you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone. I have a new family. Hold on, are you alone in the room? I need confidential information about myself. That's a negative, sir. I got 1020 visitor present here, over. Yeah, let's wrap this up. I don't think I want to say anything because he's got somebody in the room with him. Roger that, 1010. Over and out. With those words, the cabin becomes silent again. The radio microphone resting on its hook. Look in the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down the Martinez Canal. Thanks. I appreciate your help. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Close the door. Close. We got this hat. Reaction speed goes up. This adds to my encyclopedia. I kind of like the fact that take spinner hubcaps down to the pawn shop south of the plaza. Is that this way? I really don't know where the pawn shop is. It's gonna be daytime by the time I find this. Plastic wrapped macaronis. I don't know what that was. Well, that's cool. Yeah. Says humanitarian, add tuna fish, not for resale. Says speaker from the people of Samaria. Gotta look around here. Man, I haven't been this way. They say food gift from people of Messenia. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Okay. Hot air rises from the sewer. Sour, acidic, strangely comforting. Okay, we got nothing back here. This seems to be a dead end. I wonder why there's like no map in this place, but let's see, what's this here? Pawn shop, fast cash for faster times. Okay. Sad times for my guy here, you know? Welcome to the pawn shop. I just like looking around these places. Some kind of machine, an antique cash register. What's here? A bust of a woman. A plaque simply says delete DEI. Yes, kitty? My cat wants me to pet him. Hold on. We'll have to go left-handed. Wish me luck. In the dark, a film projector is whirling away. Wow. There's some timing. Oh yeah, there's shelves and stuff all over the place. Most military wear within a few certain fashions. What's this? Rack of second-hand uniforms. Wow, a very large red shirt with an impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscle man striding towards you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning embers. Behind him is a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words Hegemadal burning. Hegemadal burning. The antlers on the hood of the man's cloak and his piercing blue eyes are familiar. Sniff the shirt. What's the deal with the man on the shirt? How much are you selling this shirt for? It's the man from Hamajajal. Walking away from his burning village, yes? I'm guessing I'm supposed to know who the man from Hamajajal is, but I lost my memory recently. Remind me who he is again. The man from Hajjalamadal is a hero of series of popular books based on the fictional version of Katal, mostly what is nowadays Ardara NFD. In fact, he leans in. Most people don't think the man from Hajjalamadal ever really existed, but they are wrong. Kim raises his brow. Hajjalamadal isn't a real place. Neither is the man. A real man, of course, but both the man and Hajjalamadal are onto local necessities. He stops abruptly. But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about. Sorry, I had to stand. My leg's going a little numb. I need a better chair in my life. Wow, what? What did you mean the man from Hajjalamadal was real? I mean, even the man from Hajjalamadal didn't exist before the adventure novels. The stories have made it so that he has. It's simple. Really. Okay, he sounds incredulous. You sound spectacle. It's not skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I have been to Katala, though not quite as far north as Hajjadadal, and watched the northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there. It's for the best. HD is not a real place, and thus he could not have gone there. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual natural activity. Interesting. How much are you selling the shirt for? Too real? Continue. The lieutenant raises an eyebrow. That's dirt cheap. Couldn't you just give it to me for free? He frowns. But why? Because I'm a broke cop without a cent to my name. Perhaps I could repay you in some other way. I guess I can't really think of any good reason. It would just make me physically stronger, which might not be too bad. The shirt I'm wearing... Oh man, they won't let me look at it. My authority goes down. I'm not as impressive. Let's look around here. And I think there was one more spot, right? I feel like I was able to look at this before. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on the horseback, others in rags, others yet in blue uniforms. All are stern and unyieldingly in their duty. Inspect the knights on the horses, blue uniforms, figure rags. Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table. Boom. Why wasn't this a headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing a futuristic rack suit. Trousers that say Flame. What's this? Show it to the shopkeep. Oh, that's the headless feline rider. Who? The headless feline, F-A-L-N, rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Ravachol sporting an F-A-L-N tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. He points at the decapitated figure. 50 cents, bargain price. I'll throw in a tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. That's part of the story, as many interpretations. Hell yeah, I'll buy it. Look how cool that thing is. Yeah, we'll buy that for 50 cents. Did I mention that the figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you, he grins. Sweet. Cool, let's go here. Let's check out this figurine real quick, actually. Ah, that's cool. Can I hold it? Nope. Can't do anything with it. It's just a figurine in my pocket. Cool. He rides a bull. The plastic headless F-A-L-N rider sits atop a equally plastic bull. This posture indicates either deception or pride. Comes with a set with the infamous F-A-L-N cap for which he lost his head. The head is not included. No kidding. Cool. Oh, what's this? Sawed-off street light. A typical Martinius street light sitting among assorted floor and table lamps. Let your gaze run over the street light. Is that a street light? Where did you get this? How much for the street light? Where'd you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. He leans in so the pawnbroker wouldn't hear him. We're not here to investigate the theft of the city property. He pauses, studying the light, then adds, you have to admit it's rather clever that what he's done with it. Okay, this is how much? There's nothing to see here. Cool.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man at the counter turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
Sorry, shake your head. It's shameful how insignificant the police presence is in these parts.
I haven't really had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about the inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite a collection. I may have something to add to it. Look around. Typical objects. Honestly, I think some of your selections are, press your fingers to your lip, more tasteful than others. This business plan is all over the place. You should specialize. Zoom in. Recapitalize. Look around.
It
Quite
keeps
the
me entertained.
His attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadows on the wall behind you. He's well composed, but underneath it you sense a physical processes bubbling. He's kind of a drug, maybe? Is Roy high? And if yes, then what is he on? Well, we can see this. Feel a warm and okay, composure, yeah. By the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard, he's probably on Fihilodone. It's tough to come by on the streets. Fihilodone, what is that? A drug that developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects. That's the word I mispronounced before. And it makes your eyes turn yellow. Is it just me, or is it really warm in here? Look around. Step closer. Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? I'd like to check your eyes. Get straight to the point. So where does a man get Fahilodrol these days? Is it warm in here, or is it just me? He tilts his head. I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature. It's pretty obvious that you're under the influence. No judgment. Just curious. I probably did loads of the drug before I lost my memory. Chill out, man. I'm a chill out cop who just wants some of what you're having. I didn't mean to offend you. Drop the subject. He loosens up. I'm not offended, officer. Take care of the... Can you share? There's something I'd like to sell. You might be able to aid your investigation. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officers of the citizen militia? I have other business to take care of now. There's something I'd like to sell. Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps. The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop. He marvels at the cobalt's shimmer and nods. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defund some foreign price for them? Jump to mesquite bangers? No matter, I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you, the lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. He takes the cash and turns to you. Money gained, 130 real. You need for your bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Both the lieutenants and the pawnbroker turn to you. Oh, both? Not of the. Both lieutenant and the pawnbroker. I'll check my pockets, access your menu. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Sell his pen? That would be funny. We could probably sell this. Can we pawn it? It's broken. It's 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with wooden frame. Actually, we're in the middle of a mission that we got that from, so I might want to wait. I'd like to sell some of my clothes. I'm not purchasing any more clothes at the moment. He looked you up and down quickly. I don't have anything else to sell at the moment. Another time. Take care. By the way, do you happen to have any guns like the ones carried by officer military? Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back. Oh my god, we found out where our gun is. This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. Oh god. The lieutenant shifts from one feet to another, alert. Wait, I sold my gun? Was the buyer a policeman too? At least now I know I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Wait, I sold my gun? You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. He hesitates. Said you were under-serving of a service weapon of the Radical Citizen Militia, RCM. And I don't like keeping guns around my shop for long. Off the chart, photon emissions and unhealthily kind. Wait, I saw... At least now I know. Was the buyer a policeman? She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Somebody did call us a pig, right? So let's let this right, Lieutenant. Turns to you. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizen militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinius with it. There's only one explanation. She must be one of my rabid fans. Maybe she's a vigilante, wants to prove she can do our job better than we can. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit a crime and blame it on the citizen militia? I would say that. You're right, that she could cast aspirations on the force. We have to find her. He looks around worried. At least now I know I lost my sidearm. Of course. You might be able to aid our investigation. I doubt it, but I can try to answer any questions you have. Know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep my distance from all manners of the butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone. I know, actually, that's all I got. Okay. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went. A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope luck upon her somehow. As for the review, let's talk about Thanks for the review. Let's talk about something else. I have other business to take care of now. Dang. We're gonna wait till our homie goes to sleep. We leveled up, by the way. I'm thinking I don't want to become a communist. I didn't want to have advanced race theory either, but I didn't realize it was like an option. I kind of thought those were just things you did. If I put into endurance, I get more health. And if I put into this, I get more of the other one. But I don't have anything in any of these. Savoir-faire is kind of low. I have a negative because of items. Bonus from thoughts. Ooh, I got -1 in suggestion from something I'm wearing. Drama's a little low. I do have a hat for that though. But I think I'm gonna level up my drama. Lies and detect lies. And then we're gonna go check our clothes. One of these has a minus towards drama. The glasses, but they are pretty cool. I mean, they also help me with my visual calculus. Okay, so we got the money to go. Perfect. We should probably head on now. Get some sleep. What's this? Well, there seems to be a lot of cool stuff over here. Water lock out of order until Wednesday, 7:15. I don't even know what day of the week it is, I'll be honest. Tire tracks leading into the roof. The slush and rain was almost washed off of them. Okay, we'll come back to this. We gotta go take a nap. Our dudes are tired. I feel like I can sneak out, get those hallucinogenics from the psychedelics from the guy while Kim is asleep. Take them enjoy my life a little. I think my character deserves it. He's been through hell lately. We need to talk to him.
Can I help you?
I have your money. Slam the bills on the counter. I hope you choke on it. Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Here it is. Sorry for the trouble. Great. Thank you, officer. That's all. I wanted payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. He takes out his key chain and fiddles with the mechanism behind the counter. The electric lock to your room has been disabled till 2100 hours tomorrow. New task: find money for rent and pay. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow, 20 real per night. He opens his wallet. I'll take a room here too. Of course. He takes the money and hands him a keyring. Always happy to have officers from the RCA as guests. Anything else I can do for you? No. Let's see what this says. Alright, I'm going to continue reading this in just a minute. I'm going to be right back. I got to go grab something real quick. Hold on. Okay, okay. Hold on, let me grab my water. I left it over here. Go. I'm coming back. Coming back right now. Alright, I don't know about you guys, but I really enjoy this game. I mean, like, I haven't played a game on stream consistently until the end, and I feel like this one's definitely going to be the one I'm going to do it. Now I know I don't have anyone else really following other than a couple friends, and with that being told, I probably don't have anybody watching on anything other than YouTube. I have one, and it says I have two on Twitch, but I don't know, maybe one of them could be me. I don't know. I'll check real quick. Yeah, it could be me. I am on my Twitch by accident. Let's see. Alright. Okay, so I just had a suggestion in my mind, I'm guessing. So we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know you're a capo type. What? Wait. There are capo types? Copo types? Copo types? Okay, what am I? Yes. Guess what yours... Yes, guess what's yours. Cool cop? Some kind of weapon cop? Sorry cop? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I'm sorry you had to monitor me. Cool cop? No, you're the sorry cop. Damn it. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official. Then shall we? Let's make it official then, shall we? Okay, but what are the other capo types? Won't the other capo types be jealous? I'm sorry. Opt in. You know, actually, I'm not sorry. I changed my mind. Fuck, they should be sorry. Okay, but what other types are there? Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things, so here we go. Won't the other ones be sorry? Won't the other ones be jealous? Am I gonna opt in? You know... No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to say sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance. I don't feel like... No, really, I'm not sorry. Fuck off. I feel like... He is a sorry cop. To the extent that he basically does feel sorry that he can't understand things as much as others. Of course you are. Oh god. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. That won't happen. Thanks. So, not sorry. Sneak out after he's gone to sleep. Sounds like a great idea. Let's see, what's this here? Find your money for rent. It's 20 real. Track down your gun. Keep looking. Maybe someone else knows something. Somebody did call me a pig quite often. And I'm trying to think of who that is. Yes, I'm aware I have something else, but I can't switch to it quite yet. I am gonna go to sleep now. This is the door to the room you redecorated. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Alright, let's go. Let's have a real conversation with him. Not a sorry one, but a real one. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
where shall we begin?
He lights
a cigarette. We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
How do you think today went? So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? How do you think today went? Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man, so we didn't even inspect the body. True. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great. I generally prefer to start with searching the scene and then moving on to dealing with the dead body. I'm sorry I couldn't do more today. I'm just not a very good cop, am I? We're not saying sorry. It's not my job to evaluate your methodology, officer. I'm just going through the facts. As for the interviews, we conducted an interview with Evert, Claire. He wasn't particularly forthcoming with the useful information, however. He's not saying much on the matters because he thinks you could have gotten more out of Evert. I can get him to tell us more. He's a tough cookie, that one. I'm a little intimidated by him, honestly, and he's stuff on me. He has stuff on me. I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. We talked to Joyce, Messier, but didn't get any information from her, he frowns. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. Good point. If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important. Above all, though, today was exhausting. That's with all the running. You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 14 practice? Yes, it's part of the Jamrock Shuffle. I don't like to waste time, you know. My mind moves fast. The rest has to try to keep up. I'm training for long distance. Yeah, that's just how we roll. I don't know why I do things. I do, Lieutenant. I think he would say his mind moves fast and he just tries to keep up with it. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on a cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man your age and in those heels. Ba-dum-bum. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. What are our powers exactly, the RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Radical Citizen Militia, RCM, exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses in accordance with the interdepartmental schedule. Wouldn't that be an easy fine? Imposing fines in accordance for most frequent. Easy to abuse. Yeah, although indirectly as citizens can always request records of their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. Why not more? The RCM primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Radical. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. Wait, how can you be sure the arrestees will show up? I see. If someone's resists, and if somebody resists, you can't. Those who show up become fugitives, though. Those that don't show up become fugitive, though, and have fewer legal rights than they are eventually caught. It's about power protection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see, and what if they resist? As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expecting to carry a record of our kills like the one in the watermarks, we're permitted to use whatever force is necessary and strongly abolished not to abuse the power. Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty, what happens to the people we convict? And who makes all these rules? What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Coron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount we keep them. He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. So if I kill someone, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually witness. And who makes all the rules? Continue. The coalition government and the Morellatans, more broadly. The RCA was formed by the coalition government to restore the order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order, no more, no less. Okay. His gaze is absently fixed on the window below that just went dark. Oh, perhaps it's better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizen of Ravishol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Let's say the citizens of Ravishol. They were allowed to form. It's point of contention whether... Okay, say nothing. I don't want an opinion. Silence, a great comment to such a conundrum. The Moralist turn, what is that? The Moralist International are the world's largest police organization. He pulls on his cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. And if I didn't know, how would you describe them? I really don't know how bad it is here. That's how bad it is here. Let's point it. Okay, there are a union of center left and center right parties across the real belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP EPS, also in turn intergovernmental organization in the world. Most intergovernmental organization. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe that they continue the humanist project set forth by her innocent Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they just technocrats. Those others say they continue the humanist project as forth by the Dolores. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth. What is their symbol? Who is Dolores? What do you think of them? What do you think of them? The moralist turns are a fact. I try not to have opinions on factions, I'm guessing he's saying, until they change, and he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that's about to happen. What is their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. There's motto. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want. You think of them from that. Oh, love, compassion, self-discipline. Something kind and unusual. Something most explanatory. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above. Okay, who is Dolores? A historic figure. The author of the modern age, he thinks. You will have to look elsewhere for the opinions. The subjects of humanism is too abstract for me. I have an opinion. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his finger. Things are bad out there. Point to the city. We need them here, giving us the right to police Ravishal. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen the place? This isn't humanism. We are stooges of the world's biggest Borges organization. Protect Borges's right. Mutter silently. Immigrants, liberals. Fucking men are turning into women. Okay. Second thought. I don't have it. No, I think he'll say this is a horrible place, and it's not how you should treat humans. We're in what is called the twilight of international law. The law we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Actually, vigilantes is okay with me. Yeah, vigilantes sound... Maybe we should make our own law. Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop, but hypocritical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. Let's look into the dying light of the city simmers below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lens. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aristocrat passes overhead. The whiskers of its full floodlights on ground below. Kitsurogi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky, 2 glowing circles. He pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here. The Union, the teenagers too. It's different island, in Jamrock and the Girth. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks. The jurisdiction of our 2 precincts. And in Jamrock and the Girth, continue. He looks at the dark silhouette of the Esquirian monument cut into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are," he shakes his head, "but we are in control, and it's worth it. And the organizations work. The organization works. Our system works. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least, do some good." Me too, he says quietly, but I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetime. He's very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older. Thanks for this. Task complete. End of day debrief with Kim. Level up. Yeah, it's getting very cold. Let's go. He puts out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. So, right there, I feel a strong connection to Officer Kim as my character. I think from now on, we're going to look at the corruption of the Union and be against anything that they're about. We're going to fight hard against them, but we're not going to, like, choose sides on it. We're still going to poke and prod them as much as we can to get the answer. We know what the case is, you know? We're going to go up an encyclopedia again. I feel like this knowledge is, like, we're pretty high there. Maybe, I feel like rhetoric goes up a lot. We are going to be investigating. Maybe we'll do visual calculus. I feel like in the future we're going to be hitting this the next day. I also feel me sneaking away to go do drugs. Probably not what I should do. It's funny how, like, the game plays with the moral of the character you chose, you know? Like, I feel like he's very much so not about doing what he said he was gonna do. See you in the morning. See you later. Maybe I'll try looking in the mirror before I go to bed. They're both very, minus 10 tools not in my hand. Well, let's leave. Let's go to tools. Let's go to this. Let's go back to this. 42%'s not bad. We could try. Pass. The faucet is quite terribly mangled, but you just might be able to twist its part into place. You handle the chain cutters, deftly applying just enough pressure. The faucet regains a recognizable shape. The steam stops. Told you that you needed those chain cutters. Everything is connected. Everything has a purpose. The mirror begins to clear up. I got know the origin, no more steam. I still have 8% chance. The mirror begins to clear slowly without you having to wipe it. Attempt to stop the expression from happening. I have a +4 to this. Should I try? I might take some moral. I failed. It's too late. Like an image on the film, the expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. Electromancy failed this. Jesus. Impossible. Oh, that's why. It would take a neurologist's neurological miracle for you to cease producing it. It's locked. Let the mirror go. Okay. Pull the fan? The switch must be broken because nothing happened. The air in the room is starting to feel like vaporized urine. Really? Why is it not working? Turn on the light? Ooh. Lights are on. Turn them off. Leave. What else we got? Anything else? Just that broken window? Well, good news is we do have the money. What's over here? Can we... Nothing. Well, maybe we'll hit the old crawl in. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out. Finally close your eyes. Here we go. Dream state. This is always bizarre. And then sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillows, check the blankets. Check the pillows. It's synthetic, filling with separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. Smell of alcohol and sweat and grease. Check the blanket. Barely covers your shoes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, imminent and warm and breathing. Dang, we didn't take our clothes off. A bit tense in the muscles. Relax. Roll over to the other side. It's a little better. Closure, sense, half-formed phrases still litter your mind. Part of you still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with what was it that the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Who killed them? No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and image starts forming. Looks like it's leading me that way. Yeah, I can't go anywhere this way. Let's go this way. It's a disco ball. Crazy.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
Bloated corpse of a drunk. I remember nothing. I was born in a hospital where people usually go to die. I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are. You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
I left. I was left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours? No, it's gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium. Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up. haven't. You're just sleep talking. And the act is wearing thin, too. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time. Sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown? Who are you kidding?
I think he's a little down, but I think he works himself up into the state.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
God, there's another type.
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Wow. Good going, buddy. Oh my god, what the hell was that? I just had the most beautiful dream, uplifting, rejuvenating. Is that how it's going to be now and then when I close my eyes? More questioning of his own mentality. Yes, wait till you see the one that the chicken with the chick in it. It's gonna be a good one. You feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What chick? What the hell's going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. Why is this happening? No. That's not it. Really, I feel super good. Why is this happening? It's just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system. Bustering time to get some... You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Wait, what is speed? I need to get more of it then? Detecting is my life. No, I can take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Yeah, I think he's going to say he can take this. Are you sure? Ready to live as the pathetic shell of yourself for days, basically a week? Trying to be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3? You wouldn't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired. Who am I kidding? Of course I want it. That's a lie. I can do this without the speed. Half the town won't be dead. Opt out. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell man. See how you do without your spark. Gulp. Think I just made it bad for myself. Well, I think that's about it for today. if you're not following and you're watching, please hit a follow. I'll be playing this again over the next couple days. I know tomorrow, though, I'm going to go play Octopath. That's kind of my go-to game on Tuesdays and or Wednesdays. So it might be the next 2 days I'll be back into Octopath. I do have, on my YouTube channel, the Doom game. I think I'm on episode 5 being released right now. And keep an eye out for more episodes of that. Just go over to my YouTube at Mountain Man and hit the subscribe button to see further videos of the new Doom Eternal game. And then on here, I will be completing this game on here. This is kind of my goal right now. And then I'll be going back to some of the early access games that I've played here or there, like Stone Shard and a few others, just to give them a test after the developers have had time to do some work on them. But I think that's it for me today. I want to thank you a bunch for checking out the stream. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll be back in just maybe a few hours. I might play some games with Liz. We'll see what we're going to play later. Alright, so if you want to check any of those out, just hit follow and keep in touch. Alright, my friends, have a good day.